Hey everyone, and good afternoon from North/South Carolina, because we are here at Carowinds today. I've got my lovely girlfriend Molly with me, as well as our friend Zach, who's a local, grew up with this park. And right now we're going to go on the full park walkthrough of Carowinds, showing off all of the roller coasters, all the rides, everything that can be found at this theme park. It's celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. Now, one great thing about Carowinds, something that's really, really unique, something fun, it's actually in two different states. As you're walking down Main Street here, if you go to the right side, that's North Carolina. Go to the left side, that is South Carolina. So it's one of those really rare theme parks that exist in two different states. Now, you might be curious why I'm doing a voiceover through this segment. Well, the Main Street of Carowinds, they were playing Natalie Imbruglia's Torn at very, very high volumes, and YouTube did not like that at all. Now, as you walk down Main Street, normally there'll be a sign right there towards the end. The classic, let's say North Carolina on the right, South Carolina on the left. That sign is not there when they're doing shows on the stage in the front of the park. So if you're at a time of the year when there's not a show, that's when you get to see that stage. On the left is Cinnabon, as well as the biggest gift shop at Carowinds. That'll be where you can find the most amount of stuff. On the right is Starbucks, and Starbucks is a staple for most theme parks. Now, if you are going to Carowinds and you want to find out the show times, you have to download the app, which is kind of annoying. I hate that it's not like a sign that has it on a TV. You can walk by some of the theaters, sometimes it'll be outside, but the best way is to download the app. Now, while I did this tour, you might notice there's some more wackier theming, more colorful stuff, more shenanigans than normal, like by this Burrito Cafe. And that's because the week we were filming this, Grand Carnival was starting off the very next weekend. And that's a special event that happens at a lot of Cedar Fair parks. Now, over here on the right, this would be something, if you're going to the park for a long time, might be an area that might scar you. But behind that beer stand there, that would be where you would enter the River Rapids attraction. It's a ride that closed permanently a few years ago. I think it's still just sitting there rotting away, but it was loved by a lot of people that were Carowinds locals. Also, shout out to their beer stand. It wasn't open the day we were there. We were there a very rainy Tuesday, so some stuff didn't open up, as you would figure on a low attendance day like that. But the beer stand did sell a Hershey Yingling. This memory store, Carowinds, was celebrating the 50th anniversary of the park while we were there. And that store had some really, really cool merchandise, some weirder merchandise. There's more wacky Grand Carnival theming. They actually had a lot of pins for sale as part of their 50th anniversary, much like you would find at the Walt Disney World Resort. And you can see a lot of cracked pavement going on right there. Hopefully at some point this will get all fixed up. And then it's kind of a staple for a lot of theme parks out there, a big covered walkway with greens on top. Now, I know there's one at Six Flags Over Georgia, and a couple other parks have them as well. Kind of provides some shade, a little bit of theme park wackiness. Now, I mentioned Grand Carnival. I've actually never done a Grand Carnival at a Cedar Fair park. I've heard good things, just never had to be at the parks at that time. Now, Carowinds will have some different theme sections of the park. And they're not super well themed. Some are better themed than others. We are currently entering Carousel Park, which, as you might guess, is where the carousel is.
Ah, amazing.
Yes. One thing I do like is the naming of their churros. They're not churros. They're Carowinds. And I just think that's really neat. On my left over here, the first roller coaster you'll get to in the park, if you go to the right, is Vortex. It is a horrible roller coaster.
Not a good one.
No, it's an old B&M stand-up roller coaster. It hasn't ran in a long time too, right? October?
Yeah, I think October was the last time I saw it open for Carowinds.
And it is, it's not great. Scramblers over there on the right, a very classic style flat ride. And it's, Vortex is not great. It's one of the very few bad stand-up roller coasters left. A lot of them either got removed or got converted into a floorless roller coaster.
No, I've never been on Pipeline. I don't think there's any good stand-up coasters.
Pipeline's really fun.
Have not been. Can't
like if they could take Pipeline, or if they could take Vortex and put the Pipeline seats on it, it might be pretty fun. With Carousel Park, you can see the carousel right there. Very nice, very pretty carousel. Behind Carousel Park, you're going to see the Slingshot, which is going to be an upcharge attraction where you get flung into the air.
That's funny.
And over here on the right is the main show venue here at Carowinds, the Carowinds Theater. Currently home to Brad Ross, international star illusionist. Molly, I'm pretty sure.
I think we saw him on a cruise.
I'm pretty sure we've seen him on a cruise ship.
Yeah, no, definitely, we've seen him.
I'm pretty confident about that.
I don't know if it was on a cruise ship or another
theme park, but yeah, we definitely seen him before. I think I enjoyed his show too.
Yeah,
as well.
no, it was good.
Now you got two ways. If you go left, you're going to end up in the Carolina Boardwalk area. And if you go right, you're going to get to the park's star attraction. as the rain starts to come down here. Now, is this technically Carousel Park? I know it is Wayne's World. I'm not sure what this area of the park is known as anymore.
Wayne's World.
Back when this was a parent-owned park, this whole area of the park was Wayne's World. And the big Enterprise over here on the left, not operating today, that is still called the Scream Weaver, a very Wayne's World reference. The big wooden coaster up ahead is the Hurler, again, a very Wayne's World reference. And the Jukebox Diner, the old 50s diner kind of thing, used to be Stan Mikita's, if you remember the Wayne's World films. And the rain has calmed down here in the section of the park we believe is called the Thrill Zone. And that's probably mostly for what is over here on the right. That is where you'll find the entrance to Fury 325, the park's main attraction. In my opinion, one of the best steel roller coasters in the entire world. It is incredible. It is a 325 foot tall Giga coaster. It is long, there's speed, there's airtime, there's a really cool tunnel. The ride is fantastic. Now, if it is misting out like it is right now, I don't know if you should ride it or not because, well, we just did.
It was kind of painful.
It was kind of painful. It felt like you were getting needles to the face, but the ride itself we rode earlier today, I've ridden this before. It is one of my favorite roller coasters out there. It is fantastic. It's got its own gift shop with lots of cool merchandise. But we're gonna move our way through the Thrill Zone here. Over on the left, there's actually an entertainment stage right next to the Enterprise. A live band plays there, and the live band is called, as you might expect, the 325s, as a reference to the Fury roller coaster. It's also a Coca-Cola marketplace with the freestyle machines, and an exclusive flavor that you can only get here at Carowinds for their 50th anniversary. Now, over here on the right, that is where you will find the Hurler, which, while this area is not themed to Wayne's World anymore, the ride very much still has the classic Wayne's World name. And we rode it earlier today. I did not think it was that bad. Zach, you hated the ride.
It's a car crash.
Yeah, some of the turns were a little bit rougher than others, but I didn't think it was running that bad. It's not the best wooden roller coaster here at Carowinds, but still decent.
No, that's like the kids' one.
Yeah. Over here you got an old-timey drop, well, not an old-timey drop tower, but definitely a very 90s drop tower. I would say 150, 200 feet tall. We're gonna head this way into the mist, hopefully not getting it on the camera. Going up the lift there on the right, that is the Carolina Cyclone, one of the more classic roller coasters here at Carowinds. This one very much not my personal favorite, but it's been here for a while. I believe when it opened, it was one of the very first roller coasters in the world that would flip you upside down 4 different times. You got 2 loops off the lift back to back. And then you go over here, you're gonna see the corkscrews. Now, if you're a big fan of roller coasters, the trains on this ride actually came from the old Carowinds that used to be at Kings Island. And over here on the right, you'll see the really cool sign for Georgia Cyclone.
That is a cool sign.
Yeah. I feel like that could be on a really cool, kind of throwback t-shirt. On the right over there, you'll get your best look at Ricochet, the park's wild mouse. And Ricochet, we are here on a low attendance day at Carowinds. There's nobody on any of these old busted wooden benches.
It's always hit or miss with the rain because there's no lines, but every coaster is a little painful.
Yeah.
No matter how good it is.
See the corkscrews right there from the Cyclone. And a wonderful giant chair photo op for the 50th anniversary. And looks like Ricochet is currently closed due to weather. That's that wild mouse. Now, Ricochet we rode earlier, a little bit on the rough side, but I still had a good time. I think I enjoyed it more than the rest of you guys did. And this ride, it's only 4 people per car, so it does not have the best capacity. So you might be one you want to hit a little bit earlier in your Carowinds day. How's the giant chair?
That was just a good explanation there.
Yep. And here in the Carolina Boardwalk section of the park, this is probably the best themed area of the Carolina Boardwalk. You get the big lighthouse, the adorable characters of Sweet Frog premium frozen yogurt, This building here is home to a couple different things. On the right, with that adorable sign, is the Boathouse Bites and Beer. Look at the corn dog.
That is a good sign. But you said it hasn't been open, really.
No. I think, yep.
That is a corn dog.
Ooh, they also have cheesecake on a stick. And then there's chicken and pizza if you want your crab fries. There's a kind of another random gift shop. I do like the Boatworks theming on this one. Now, Zach, you were telling me this is the only place that sells kind of like this building here, the only place that sells beer on the North Carolina side, right?
Yes, that's an actual restaurant.
It's an actual restaurant. And then over here on the left is where you get on to one of the more classic roller coasters here at the park. That is the Carolina Gold Rusher, which is the park's mine train roller coaster. I'm gonna zoom in real quick because you can see one of the trains is painted gold for the 50th anniversary, and that's really nice. Carowinds obviously celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. As we make our way from the Carolina Boardwalk into the County Fair. Now, the County Fair area of the park, I believe, was added in 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. And Carowinds has been doing this a lot, where they've been going through and upgrading older sections of the park, replacing like the old blacktop with pavers, as well as adding new rides, which I think, you know, it really helps. Here in County Fair, you will find a lot of the flat rides here at Carowinds, along with a lot of food, as you would think, things like fair fries. There goes the Flying Cobras, the park's boomerang. Now, I do like this boomerang better than most because this boomerang does have the newer vest restraints. So while it might be a little nausea-inducing if you're, you know, suspect to that, it will be a smooth ride because it doesn't bang your head around. Rock and Roller is a pretty traditional Himalaya-style ride over there on the right, but it does look good. You can see all the decorations out for the park's big 50th anniversary, and all the people going backwards through the Flying Cobras. Now, something fun this summer that Carowinds is doing as part of their 50th anniversary, pretty much every night during the summer, and when the park closes, they do a big fireworks show, and the fireworks show also has drones in it. Now, the best viewing areas for this show is over here in the County Fair, and also over in the over by that roller coaster there, Copperhead Strike. And look at that, one of my favorite rides in this entire park is getting ready to go. That is the Electro Spin, a Mondial top scan. I also love some of the cheesy photo ops they have. Like, that one's fantastic.
It is. It's a great character.
But Electro Spin is a great flat ride. I love that. Do-si-do, also pretty solid.
There it goes.
Ah, there it goes. Might hang out here and watch this one for just a second to show you kind of what it does. You love these. I do.
A lot of fun.
I also find it like, it looks like it's going to be really sickening, but I don't think it's really sickening.
Interesting take.
Yeah. Also, if you look behind the Electro Spin, you'll see the water park here at Carowinds that operates during the summer, and it is included with your park admission. Look how much fun they're having.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Who wants to go on Electro Spin? Molly? Or the Do-si-do, which is also now going. All right, welcome back, riders. How was that ride?
Yeah, I did it for you. The things I do for you.
Never again.
I'm the only Electro Spin fan here in our group. You get a good view of the Flying Cobras, the boomerang over here on the left. And over here on our right, the last ride here in the County Fair section of the park. This is for the swing ride, a very gentle, family-friendly ride. Unlike Electro Spin, I just made these guys go on.
Yeah, I would rather go on the swings.
Another fun photo up here with the state line. Now over here on the right is going to be the entrance to the Carolina Harbor Water Park. They're included with admission water park here at Carowinds, and you can see their fun mat racer slide there. Now that'll only operate during the summer season. And then on the left of that is going to be the Copperhead Strike roller coaster, one of the better roller coasters here at Carowinds, and that's located in the next area of the park, the Blue Ridge Junction. Home to one of the bigger restaurants here at Carowinds.
And a very interesting item on the menu.
The Blue Ridge Country Kitchen. I think I know what you're thinking about, and that's going to be at this little shack over here.
Oh, okay.
It's very much like kind of home cooking kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was at the wrong location.
Yep. There's also going to be an arcade over there on the left.
This is a weird location.
Yes, over here at the Blue Ridge Fixins. Unfortunately, it's not open today. But we were all curious of what a mac and cheese turkey leg is.
I'm not a fan of turkey legs, but I love mac and cheese.
If you know what that is, let us know in the comment section below. And over here on the left, that's going to be where you want to go if you want to ride the Windseeker. It's a 300-foot tall swing ride, a pretty gentle swing ride. But we're going to go right and show off Copperhead Strike, which is the newest roller coaster here at Carowinds. I believe it opened in 2019. It's a double launch, multi-looping roller coaster by the folks over at Mock Rides. A pretty good ride. Definitely on the slower scale. I think its max speed is around 49 miles per hour.
I like the show scene before.
Yeah,
It's my first time going on it.
it's kind of themed around an old lady that makes moonshine.
Which is great.
Over here on the left is your Mountain Gliders, which is you're kind of like flying scooter style attraction.
50 Nights of Fire begins in 10 minutes.
But I do enjoy Copperhead Strike. Not my favorite roller coaster in the park, but Carowinds has a really good top 4 roller coasters with Fury, Afterburn, Intimidator, and Copperhead Strike. And then there's a considerable drop off in quality after that. Oh, there goes the launch. See the people going through the loop. You do get some pretty good airtime on some of those hills too. And when they come out of the barn, there's a fun like show scene in there where you kind of get exploded out of it. Also, the Copperhead Strike sign, top notch. Now we are gonna head out. As you can see, Copperhead Strike, one good thing about it too, it's a pretty long ride. It's got those 2 launches, it's got tons and tons of track. If you don't like going upside down, it might not be the roller coaster for you. The Mountain Gliders are now going over on the left. And we're about to exit the Blue Ridge Junction section of the park and go into the newest section of the park, which opened earlier this year, known as Aeronautica Landing. And this is pretty nice. I actually think they took what was like the oldest and not the nicest section of Carowinds, and it's turned it into a really, really nice section of the theme park. You can see the first ride going right ahead of us. That is something that actually just opened, I think, earlier this week or a week or 2 ago. And that is Windstar, which is considerably more fun than it looks. Over here on the right is Hover and Dodge, which is the park's bumper cars. Going over there is Gear Spin. Gear Spin is a Perla Nebulas. I like these rides a lot. They're a ride I actually think might be more fun to watch than to ride, but they're still a lot of fun to ride. See some of the really cool theming here at the entrance to Aeronautica Landing, as well as the Windstar. And not operating today is Frequent Fryers, a wonderfully named French fry booth. Now, something I have not tried out yet that I really want to, I'm going to try out real soon, is Terminal A, which is elevated brews and bites. And if you head back this way into Blue Ridge Junction, you will get to that building there, which is home to the Boo Blasters and Interactive Shooting Dark Ride. I'm going to go and head this way to show off more of the rides here in Aeronautica Landing. I have lost my friends who I believe have wanted to ride Copperhead Strike, which I don't blame them for. I know me and Molly were here earlier than Zach was, so Zach has not been on that yet today. And but the crowd levels today, normally Copperhead Strike does get a pretty good line if Carowinds is busy. Today, not really the case. That big roller coaster over there on the left, that is Afterburn, which is going to be the park's inverted roller coaster. One of the more intense roller coasters here at Carowinds. So you go through the big loop. When this first opened, this had a Top Gun theme. Now it carries a generic kind of fighter pilot theme, but the ride itself is really, really cool. When they built Aeronautica Landing here, you can see they built all sorts of new games with it. Some of them look great, like Sky High Challenges here is a game where you have to try and hang on to a bar or walk a plank. And those are pretty fun games to watch. Oh my goodness, look at that prize. I think it is a cat who is dressed as the Fury 325 Hornet. That is pretty fun. And of course you got basketball, a pretty standard midway game. You also have places to sit down and relax if you are traveling with others that want to go on crazy wild spinning rides, and well, you do not. That is your spot to go hang out and relax. Now, tucked away behind Balloon Busters is another ride that's opened pretty recently here at Carowinds, and that's Gyro Force. Unlike some of the other rides here at Aeronautica Landing, this one's going to feel a little bit older, more like a Trabant or a Wipeout.
Please clear the area.
Now, over here, this building used to be home to a motion simulator ride. I think most recently it was Plants vs. Zombies. Well, it is now home to nothing. I think there's a bar outside and a brewery bites outside. We're on a very low attendance day with lots of rain in the forecast, so that is unfortunately not open at the moment. But Airwalker is open, which is a big half-pipe style spinning ride, where you'd sit on that thing there and it would go rock back and forth. And then as it does that, it spins you around. And then over here at the end of Aeronautica Landing is Air Racers. Probably, I would say it's pretty safe to say that Air Racers is the most sickening ride in the entire park. Molly, how do you think you would do on this one?
Terrible. Looks horrible.
Visually, it's a really cool looking ride. But you know, it is a lot of flips. They got hung upside down for quite some time there. And here you can see Airwalker going around. That's another really pretty flat ride. I think this whole area is really well done.
It is. It's really well done.
I would show you the Terminal A bar, but unfortunately, Molly, you wanted to check it out.
I did.
And with the low attendance today, it is not operating. Yeah.
It looked really nice inside. The door was open.
I believe they have some, I think they have like pork belly sliders as well in there.
Yeah.
And like, oh, that's a very me food. I would like that a lot. But I do feel like it's quite an improvement they made to Carowinds this year. Obviously, no big roller coaster. But they took one of the older areas in the park and made it into a much nicer area in the park.
It looks really nice.
Yeah. Now, I better going this way or going that way? Going that way. I'll pick this up in a minute. Just grabbed a ride on the new Windstar. I'm guessing you guys like that better than Electro Spin.
Oh, way better. Yes.
Yeah, that's much more popular than Electro Spin. Now we're kind of finishing out the park. There's not too much left here at Carowinds. Here's their beautiful new bar, which is unfortunately closed earlier than we would like it to be.
It looked really nice when we walked in.
Some of the theming touches here are really cool too. And over here on the left is the Boo Blasters I was mentioning earlier. So if you wanted to go on a ride and shoot Clint Novak, you can do that here at Carowinds. But I believe we're gonna head this way, past Lombardo's Italian food, and the candy shop, beer and snacks. And in the front section of Carowinds, you'll see a lot of the kids area of the park, which is Camp Snoopy. Is beer and snacks open?
I mean, it does look like it's open.
Okay, we might have to stop and get beer and snacks before retreating into Camp Snoopy. Looks like I got a good selection too. There are some pretty sections of Carowinds. So look at this, I go over here by this candy shop and the lake. That is very pleasant over here. Look at that. This beer and snack booth is a good find. They've got like 12 beers and they're all like craft beers. It's really nice.
Most of them local too.
Yeah, some good stuff. So that's pretty nice. Now your beers here at Carowinds, they will run about $12 to $13. So it's you know, kind of an expensive place for alcoholic beverages, but still pretty good. If you go up that hill to the right, that's where you would get to Afterburn. Now, Zach, I believe this barn-like building here, was that where you used to enter the dinosaurs alive?
Sure.
We're going with maybe. As we make our way into Camp Snoopy.
Snoopy's such a beloved character.
Yep. You got another big lake over here.
Looks really pretty.
I think it used to be part of an old log flume at one point. Camp Snoopy is the kids area at Carowinds. One ride we have not passed yet is over there. That is Kitty Hawk, the park's inverted kids coaster. It is not one of the better rides in the park. It's actually fairly rough. I do like their Camp Snoopy area. It's very wooded, as you would expect a camp area to be. Now, sometimes if you're here on a lower attendance day like we are, it'll be kind of like the rides will be closed and they'll be rotating in between them. You can see that roller coaster there. That is Intimidator, themed after Dale Earnhardt. Definitely not part of Camp Snoopy.
No, I was going to say that's not part of here.
But you do have a lot of rides for the little ones, like Snoopy versus the Red Baron. A very cute little kids whip ride.
I love how the kids get whipped rides.
Yeah, it's really neat.
They're fun little rides.
I always like in these parks that guy there. You go up and down the kite-eating tree.
I also like the name.
I also really like here at Carowinds. Look at these chairs they have for the parents to sit in as the little kids ride on the rides.
I like how there's a shade cover.
I know. That's very smart. Going around right there, that is the camp bus. As Snoopy and his buddies needed a way to get to camp. There is going to be a small family-friendly balloon ride. That's definitely more of a family ride than a kid's ride. You've got a kid's ride with Pigpen on it over here. This is a very popular ride. It's at many parks in the country of various themes. Sometimes it'll be like dancing frogs or other stuff. This time it is Doom Buggies.
Makes sense with the camping.
And then behind it is the best wooden roller coaster at Carowinds, the Woodstock Express, the kids ride.
We just came off of it not too long ago, and it was all adults riding. It was great.
It was fascinating because there was like us three, another group of 3 adults, a mom and dad and their kid, and they let you go around twice. Everyone rode twice except for the little kid.
Yep. Do that.
But I love that the park has a small wooden roller coaster for kids. I think that's great. You can definitely see some new wood on it as well, so it's something they are working on keeping up.
I love the fountain over here.
Yeah. The fountain is lovely. As you can see, Snoopy and little Woodstocks, and they're all having a jolly old time. Just adorable. No swimming in the fountain though, don't do that. Got the balloon ride. What I imagine is probably one of the older rides here in Camp Snoopy is Charlie Brown's Wind Up, a very old swing ride. Then if you head this way, you're gonna hit a dead end of Carowinds. So we're gonna walk one way and then cut the camera and pick you back up over here by the store. But do have a couple more rides over here in the kids area, which we do want to show off. And over here on the left is Snoopy's Junction, which is a small train type ride. It doesn't go very far. This ride actually, it's really more of a family ride, this one, the Peanuts Pirates ride. It's pretty fun. You ride around in a circle in a little boat, hop up and down. Now, if you are visiting Carowinds during a time of year in which Snoopy and their friends are doing a show, they have a couple different areas which they can do shows with the characters. One of which, the outdoor one, would be over here. On the day we're visiting, they're doing the show in Harmony Hall.
There's no blob, but it's really cute.
Yeah, we watched it while we were at the bar.
Yep.
Well, it was raining earlier. Woodstock Whirlybird's a little Tubs of Fun style ride. Over here in this back corner of the park, if you have little ones, they're gonna really like this, because over here on the right, you can see the woods coaster going now. But they've got a great playground over here for little kids. And
which I think more theme parks need, like an actual
absolutely
area just for kids to get out energy.
Yeah, and we were recently at Disneyland with two 6-year-olds, and they would have loved something like this.
Yeah, the Redwood Creek
Challenge Trail.
Yeah, it was one of their favorite things at California Adventure.
And then you get the kids coaster here. This is the Wilderness Run. I believe this is one of the ones where you need a kid to ride it. So if you're one of the Coaster County adults, you might not get it. I've been on it before in the past, and you can see Intimidator going around. Intimidator runs right around the front of the park, right by the parking lot. And there we go, that's kind of this dead end section. I believe Zach would confirm, you need a kid to ride this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Molly, no credit for you.
Oh, sad.
We have made our way out of that dead end, and we're gonna finish up the park now as we exit Camp Snoopy. Camp Snoopy does exit here at the Camp Store, where you can buy all of your Snoopy and Peanuts paraphernalia.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. Up here on the right is Harmony Hall. Harmony Hall is something I wish every theme park would have. It is a giant food court with a show venue in there, as well as a bar. And it really helps kind of weatherproof Carowinds a little bit. Earlier today it was raining. It rained for about an hour or so. Went down in there, had some good beer. They had some really nice beer selection, including a 50th anniversary IPA made by the nearby Snickerboard Brewing Company. And we got to watch a snow where Schroeder teaches Sally about the history of music. Snoopy was there. And you could also get food. There you can see Intimidator on the right. But yeah, it's kind of, I wish every park would have a Harmony Hall. You can see another shot of Kitty Hawk on the left. And Kitty Hawk is not a ride I enjoy. Their newer, more modern versions of this, where they don't have the over-the-shoulder restraints, I think are pretty solid. These older ones with the over-the-shoulder restraints, I know they're designed for kids, but they still would beat up kids or adults. This blue and yellow roller coaster, right behind the Ripcord, which is an upcharge sky swing attraction. But the blue and yellow roller coaster, that is Nighthawk, the park's flying roller coaster. And it's definitely an older flying roller coaster. I don't mind these. I know you two are big not fans at all.
I don't like them. I don't like it.
You can see it going up there. And how these work, the guests are currently on their back. They get to the top of the lift, and then as they go over the first turnaround, they're gonna flip over into a flying position.
And I think that's why I hate. I don't like going up the lift on my back.
And there's parts of the ride that are not overly comfortable as well. There's another stage over here outside of Harmony Hall, another big chair for photo ops. This tent is for VIPs if you have the Prestige Pass or you're on some sort of a VIP tour. And over here on the right, that'll be where you would get on the Intimidator, which is a fun roller coaster. I would say for me, probably my second favorite roller coaster in the park. For me, it's Fury, Intimidator, Afterburn, then Copperhead Strike. One thing about Nighthawk, it is over a little lake. We're actually staying like right across the street from Carowinds in the Comfort Inn. And one of the pictures, oddly enough, on our hotel wall is like this right here. There is no train in the picture. It's just coaster track over a small lake.
Yep.
I will say though, if you're looking for a place to stay, that Comfort Inn, it was like $70 a night. Bed was really comfortable, room was clean.
Great biscuits for the morning.
And a pretty solid free hotel breakfast.
And you can walk from to the park.
Yeah. Especially important if you don't have an annual pass, like that'll save you probably $20, $25 in parking. We are now getting back to the very front of Carowinds, and one thing that's a bummer to me is this ride is closed today. That is the Sky Tower. It is a big, gentle observation ride. As you're going up, they play an audio spiel all about the history of Carowinds. And I'm bummed that's closed. That's something I would try and do on every single visit. But that'll do it for this full park walkthrough here of Carowinds. I enjoy Carowinds. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite parks in the country, but it's definitely not one of my least favorite parks in the country. I enjoy every visit I have up here. I love the beer selection. I love Fury 325.
Fury's great. And it's such a unique park being in 2 different states.
Absolutely. Now, if you got any questions about Carowinds, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching this video.